Hundreds of millions of years ago, the Sahara was not a barren desert, but a lush land filled with mighty rivers. On the water's surface, giant insects and ancient creatures hovered, creating a scene both peaceful and mysterious. By the riverbank, herds of plant-eating dinosaurs gathered to drink, unaware of the danger lurking just beneath the water. Above them, prehistoric birds soared across the sky, completing a thriving ecosystem. Dense primeval forests stretched endlessly home to countless species long vanished from Earth. Beneath the surface, massive ancient fish swam, holding a vital place in this prehistoric food chain. As the sun set, tranquility covered the river, masking the silent predator waiting in the shadows. And then, from the still waters, the cold, piercing eyes of a giant killer slowly emerged. On the damp, sandy riverbank, the giant Sarcosuchus laid eggs as large as basketballs. Inside, new life stirred, small cracks spreading across the thick shells. Weak and fragile, the hatchlings broke free, touching sunlight for the very first time. They huddled near the nest, trembling easy prey for other predators. But instinct drove them toward the river, toward both life and danger. The young began swimming in shallow waters, struggling to adapt to a hostile world. They learned to hide among tall reeds, exposing only their watchful eyes. But lurking below giant predatory fish waited to swallow the careless. Only the swiftest survived, darting away at the last second from deadly jaws. Gradually, hunting instincts awoke. They began stalking schools of smaller fish to hone their skills. Over years, the weak perished, while the strongest grew into unstoppable killing machines. As adults, Sarcosuchus could reach 12 meters in length, weighing over 15 tons the size of a bus. With jaws lined by more than 130 teeth, its bite could crush anything in its path. Its body was covered in thick, armored scales, scarred from countless battles. Its cold, reptilian eyes reflected the jungle, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Beneath the surface, its massive tail swayed, scattering even the largest fish. With a single snap, it could shatter a thick log, a raw display of devastating power. With its colossal size, Sarcosuchus ruled the prehistoric rivers of the Sahara. The river appeared calm at deceptive silence. Young hadrosaurs approached the riverbank to drink. But beneath the water, predatory eyes had already locked onto their target. The massive body glided silently, concealed beneath the current. Each ripple spreading across the water was a signal of death drawing near. In an instant, Sarcosuchus lunged upward, clamping its prey in iron jaws. A fierce struggle erupted, roars echoing through the forest. The victim was dragged beneath the waves into a watery grave. Only ripples and bubbles remained as the river returned to silence. The rest of the herd fled in panic, leaving death in their wake. Not only dinosaurs, Sarcosuchus also hunted massive turtles by the river. As the turtle slid into the shallows, the predator was already waiting. Its cold gaze tracked every move of its unsuspecting prey. In a flash, the massive jaws clamped down on the armored shell. A sickening crack echoed as the shell shattered like glass. Beneath the surface, giant prehistoric fish were no safer. One devastating bite reduced bone and flesh to fragments. It dragged its prey onto the riverbank, proof of unmatched dominance. After feeding it, basked proudly, guarding its territory. No creature could escape the jaws of Sarcosuchus, the absolute apex predator of ancient rivers. But nature always changes. The rivers began to dry. Other creatures moved on, searching for new lands. But Sarcosuchus with its massive body was left behind in shrinking pools of mud. Eyes once filled with power now reflected cracked earth and despair. With no fish, no turtles, the food chain collapsed. The giant predator gasped weakly, its colossal strength fading. What was once a paradise turned into barren wasteland. Finally, Sarcosuchus fell, ending a reign that lasted millions of years. And so the Sahara became the desert we know today, with only fossils to tell the story of the mighty Sarcosuchus. Slowly, the lush forest vanished, replaced by endless dunes.